तो रखने के पहले ऐसे लक्ष्मी जी, I made a mistake with one word. He said, कहाँ? I said, जानू जो तुमने बात छुपाई के बदले पहली बार जीनू जो तुमने बात छुपाई मैंने गाया पर आपने तो टेक ओके कर दिया था. And I thought it was not going to be in my voice. I didn't, He says, अच्छा. He thought for a minute. He said, कविता जी, आप श्रीदेवी जी को आइए मैं प्रीव्यू में दिखाता हूँ आपको. श्रीदेवी जी को देख लीजिए. आपको लगेगा जीनू ही करेक्ट वर्ड है.
ஆச்சி ராயல் குலோப் ஜாமுன் பேக்ஸ் ஒன்று வாங்கினால் ஒன்று இலவசம்.
50 plus years, 45 languages.
55 years, and I think it's probably a little more than 20,000 songs.
20,000 songs.
Because I've been working for 55
Even
years. Namaste everybody.
Internet cannot keep up with you. Really, so many.
Yes, because there was an era, even before 90s, when if I include the fact that I would sing not only film songs, but there would be a ghazal for somebody, there would be a bhajan, there would be a little bit of Bhagavad Gita, there would be some jingle to do. So it was from morning till night. So I think close to, 20,000 definitely.
And I mean, such iconic songs, My favorite, of course, is Hawa Hawai, and I have to begin with that. Because just uttering those nonsensical words in the beginning, that story you have to tell, and then you have to sing that part.
Firstly, let me say what a pleasure it is to talk to you, Kavita. Well, Hawa Hawai, Hawa Hawai happened at a time when I was still not singing a lot of solos, and I was doing a lot of dubbing with Lakshmikant Pyarlal for Lata ji. But this song happened to be, they said it's a very big item kind of a song, and a new lady is going to be launched, Sri Devi ji, and they called me for the rehearsal at Lakshmi ji's place. And I was actually very nervous because when I walked in, I was used to Pyare Bhai and Lakshmi ji because I'd been singing for them. But I saw Javed Saab, and then I saw Boni Akhtar, and everybody like sitting so seriously. Very, very seriously, like looking at the new singer walking in who's going to sing the song. Actually, dubbed for Asha Bhosle. My voice was supposed to be only for the shooting purposes. But still, it had to be done seriously because whatever I sing, the actress is going to emote on that. And finally, when the main singer sings, they can't shift too much because the words are already been shot. Close-ups have been done. So I went and I saw Javiji and I got really said like, okay, it's going to be really an intellectual song. So then, of course, Lakshmi ji told me, "Acha, apna kagaz nikaliye." Then he said, "Likh lijiye, chi hua hua." I wrote, "Chi hua hua," and it's just like, yeah. He says, "Honolulu, Lulu." This went on, and it was hilarious.
I see Lucy, you see Lucy.
All this, and some words were added on during the recording because Javed Saab walked in the afternoon because those days recordings used to be long sessions, 100 musicians, so it takes many hours. So he walked in the afternoon and he said, "Lakshmi ji, I think Mombasa, it has to end with Mombasa."
I remember him telling that story. Mombasa, he wanted to add.
And I think it's a fabulous ending.
Yeah. When you saw it on screen, what was your reaction?
Actually, I saw it in a rush in the preview because the moment Lakshmi ji called me after 6 months to say कि आपको मैं खुशखबरी दे रहा हूँ कि ये गाना आपके आवाज़ में हम रख रहे हैं क्योंकि श्रीदेवी जी को बहुत सूट हो रहा है. I said, "Oh, really? Thank you, Lakshmi ji. So grateful." तो रखने के पहले I said, Lakshmi ji, I made a mistake with one word." He said, "कहाँ?" I said, जानू जो तुमने बात छुपाई के बदले पहली बार जीनू जो तुमने बात छुपाई मैंने गाया पर आपने तो टेक ओके कर दिया था. And I thought it was not going to be in my voice. I didn't, He says, अच्छा. He thought for a minute. He said, कविता जी, आप श्रीदेवी जी को आइए मैं प्रीव्यू में दिखाता हूँ आपको. श्रीदेवी जी को देख लीजिए. आपको लगेगा जीनू ही करेक्ट वर्ड है. So it stayed as Jeenu. If you all listen to the song, you'll know it's Jeenu jo tumne baat chupai. And second time I've corrected myself and said Janu jo tumne baat chupai.
Wow. So when you saw her doing that, I mean, it transformed her career, transformed your career.
Yes, absolutely.
It was a turning point, right?
Absolutely a turning point. Though I must tell you something that I got a lot of work in the industry after that. But the fact remains that for some reason, whatever songs like the Hawa Hawai girl would be Sri Devi, then Tu Cheez Badi Mast Mast would be Ravina Tandon. So those days there was no social media, so we singers remained behind screens to quite an extent. So I got work, a lot of work, but I suppose, people didn't even know what I look like,
But we're making up for it now.
Yes,
You've sung all the iconic dance numbers. Tu cheez badi hai mast
yeah.
mast, ke sira sira.
I
mean,
know,
these
and
are
Mera Piya,
iconic.
yeah, Mera
Mera
Piya,
Piya Ghar.
yeah. You know, but it's so strange. I am very grateful to God because unless I'd got these item songs, I wouldn't have known that I could do these naughty songs because it's totally contradictory to my very staid nature. I'm a very staid person.
Anyone who can
I
sing
toe my
to-
line. I've
to-
toed the line all through my life, but suddenly I do songs which are a bit crazy.
Which one of these would you like to sing a little from? Tu cheez badi hai mast mast?
Oh, Lord.
We'll have to ask the audience.
Nee, two cheese is difficult. Where is the male singer for me? I can't say मैं cheese बड़ी
Right. Which one should we do?
केसरा के एक line
Ha,
गा दूँ?
that's a nice one. And how wonderful Madhuri was there.
She is tremendous.
I mean, I've never seen anyone
she
dance
is-
so
she is-
beautiful.
she is
Prabhu
some-
Deva and she were
Yeah,
Pukar,
and she
right?
does Prabhudeva and what kind of amaze. Actually, at that point, you feel it was like steps which would be part of the AI generation. You know, the steps were like that, and she of course does Kathak for Devdas, and she does this for. She's amazing. Yeah.
Again, how did that come about? Did they tell you have to?
No. By the time I was singing my own songs, it
Right.
was the 90s, and with Rahman, I got to sing Bombay first.
Oh yes, I'm going to come to that
Oh my
later
gosh.
because that's amazing. Your relationship, for instance, with Sanjay Leela Bhansali, what iconic songs you've sung
Yes.
over all his movies. My favorite, of course, being Khamoshi.
Undoubtedly. for me
Undoubtedly,
too.
yeah. And then Hum Dil De Chuke
Yeah,
Sanam
yeah. The
and
title song, yeah,
Devdas.
Yes, yes.
So what was it? How was it?
I sang
Because
only
he
for three of his
understands
films.
music.
Three of his films, yeah.
Yeah.
Khamoshi was Jatin Lalit. Then Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam and Devdas was absolutely brilliant songs by Ismail Darbar. I sang only for three of his films, but I feel that whatever I sang for him has turned out to be one of the best songs in my career. Every song had a different color. Every song.
I mean, from Nimbuda Nimbuda to Dola Re to look at that.
I know.
And
and
Aaj Mein
Kage
Uppar.
Yeah, what a
Lovely.
Yes.
Which one should be?
Khamoshi.
Khamoshi.
Can I tell you something about Aaj Mein Uppar? See, those days what used to happen in Sunny Studios was, by 10 o'clock, the musicians would come and they would start a fresh recording for the day. Between 8 and 10, sometimes you would get the studio in the morning. And when you get the studio in the morning, the track is recorded one day earlier. And then we put our headphones, learn the song, put our headphones, rehearse 2-3 times, and then sing the song. The take starts. This is what happened with Khamoshi, that 8 o'clock in the morning, I was in the studios, in Sunny Studios. And Majru Saab was very punctual. He was 2 minutes before me. And I remember so well that he was, he was probably in his mid-70s, not keeping well. He had a kind of an asthma attack that day. You know, this person, Majru Saab, the whole recording, he was there as if it is his first song, with so much of enthusiasm, dedication. And he telling me, Beta, kahin aap yaad rakhna, tell me, oh, khuda nahi kehna. I said, why, Majru Saab? Word khuda hi hota hai na? He said, नहीं, इसमें खुदा बोलो क्योंकि वो क्रिश्चियन लड़की है. Goni's क्रिश्चियन लड़की है, उसका colloquial language में. See to what extent? And he was there. I said, then I remember Lalit telling him, अगर सब ठीक है rehearsal में आप जाइए, आप थोड़ा आराम कर लीजिए. He said, नहीं बेटा गाएगी मैं सुनूंगी. सुनकर मैं जाऊंगा, मैं सुनूंगा. And he stayed till the end of the recording.
And those days you had a live orchestra? Or it had started to change?
This had, by the time I did Khamoshi, 95, 96, the change had started in the sense the orchestra would be recorded a day earlier and we would do the song, but we still had to do quite a few lines together. There was a punching in after every line didn't happen. That happened after 2000. Till then, we still had to sing the full Mukhra and then the full Antara. If we make a mistake, we would sing the full Antara again. This punching in of words or one line didn't happen then.
Do you do that now? I can't imagine you doing it.
I'm too much of an old school to, though it is a very, like if I'm not well and I have a cold, punching in a few words, a line really helps with breath. I mean, if you think of technology, it really helps. But I still belong to the old school and I would definitely like to sing at least 2-3 lines together for me to get the, the feel of the song. Emotion of the song.
So, you sang for all these wonderful women. I mean, Madhuri, Sri Devi, Manisha.
Shabana Azmi, my favorite.
Shabana.
One of my
She's your
favorite.
favorite?
She's one of my
Why,
favorite.
why is that?
I don't know, like from the time I sang Mile Sur Mera Tumhara, every time I finish singing and she emotes, it's definitely her voice. Nobody can say that I have sung the song. The way she, I don't know whether it's her speaking voice and then my singing voice, but every time she sings, even in Saaz, I really feel that it's Shabana ji singing. It's not me singing her. You know, during the Saaz recording, she used to be there to watch. She used to watch my face. And then when she sang, I really said, my God, this is not me. This is Shabana ji singing.
Imagine the singer saying that.
Yeah, I've always felt that about her. She's amazing.
And in Mile Sur Mera, that again was, what a fantastic...
Yeah, fantastic.
I mean...
you know, the way he brought artists from all over the country together and how they did it that time, it was fantastic.
But talking about Manisha, Bombay.
Manisha.
Yeah, Bombay
Yeah.
and Tu Hi
Love
Re,
Story,
I think
1942,
one of the most beautiful
I sang
songs.
first for her in Saudagar,
Right.
then Love Story 1942, then Bombay.
And what a beautiful song it was. What was it like, Rahman's early days? I mean, he wasn't the Rahman then.
Oh, but I don't know if he has changed much, but he's always been a a man of few words and a very shy smile on his face. And I remember singing Bombay for him, and I sang when he was not there. His assistant did the entire recording. Then
Was it at midnight, after midnight as
no,
usual?
fortunately, this was in the daytime.
Okay.
Around 12:30, 1 o'clock I sang. Then around 3 o'clock he walked in. First I sang Kuchi Kuchi Rakama in the morning. And then they said, no, you can't go back to Bombay now. You have to sing one more song. This was in Chennai. Then when I finished singing the second song, at 3 o'clock he walked in. I think that's the time he gets up and he's okay. So he walked in and he heard the song and then he said, Kavita ji, those two high lines, everything is okay. Those two high lines, can you do it for me again? And I felt very, very low because those two lines were extremely high. Like now I'll tell Rahman ji, it's like a Z scale. It's so high and it's beyond my range. How he says, no, just give it a try. So I think I sang it once roughly and then I just sent a message up to God above saying, Izzat ka sawal hai, bacha lo. So then I just pelted it out. And he smiled and said, okay.
You've been doing all this with a sinus problem.
Sorry?
With a sinus problem. You've had a lifelong
that is
How do you do it?
In my colds and coughs and my sinus, my lifetime companion, very loyal to me. And they've decided to stay with me all through the years. And I've decided to keep them and continue my work and not feel disheartened. I don't accept that defeat, because music is a very important part of my life. And I feel that I have found ways and means of combating it, which is also for me a research. I've done research how to, like I remember going for Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam song. And I was so tensed because it's Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam. Everything is And I said, heaven help me if my nose doesn't work on that day. But somehow I think God has been with me, holding my hand all through. So I've been able to manage, but I haven't given up and I don't plan to give up.
And that's quite amazing because it is debilitating. I mean, sinus can be something that...
It stops you from giving your best. But I remember once, one music director who told me something so very important. As usual, I went for the studio and that was Shri Ravindra Jain. And I had a lot of cold. I said, Dadu, I used to call him Dadu. I said, Dadu, pata nahi main aaj kaise gaungi, bahut sad. He's saying, he says, ek baat yaad rakho. Forget it for today, you can redo the song. But you must try to be a good musician first. If you're a good musician, this is just an instrument, but your good musicianship will come through even if this doesn't work because music also comes from the head. So he says you work towards it. These are all not important things.
And also from the heart, right? So much emotion that you pour into your songs.
And also maybe I'm lucky because of my different state of sinus, different songs I sound different sometimes. Somebody tells me some song I might sound a little nasal someday. Sometimes I sound perfectly all right. So it's helped me with Tu Cheez Badi Hai Mast and Mera Piya Ghar. I've managed it.
And I wonder sometimes when you hear songs like Bole Churiya and all, which are like Sangeet favorites, wedding favorites, every wedding you hear those songs. Do you think, Arey, I sang that? Does that happen to you?
बहुत बार ऐसे होता है बहुत बार ऐसे होता है कि I hear some song and say, hey Bhagwan, I hope nobody hears this song, it's so bad. Then sometimes when suddenly I find, oh, these two lines really sound nice. What happened to me? I really sound good for a change. You know, I do have those funny feelings sometimes.
It's so interesting because you've really, from the classical to the really with it songs, I think you've done it all. So that's also because your classical training is...
And also because if there's anything very high in the song, no music director will Kavita ko bulao, I'm sure. जो भी बहुत ऊंचा ऊंचा lines होता था, मुझे ही मिलता था.
How difficult it is to sing in that pitch, no?
It is very difficult because those days when I first started off, it was all live recordings. Like if you make a mistake, the whole song had to be redone. And I remember when I used to walk into the studio at Lakshmi, especially Lakshmi Kanji and R.D. Burman, they used to be great musicians, playing like Shiv Kumar ji, Hari Prasad ji. They were all there on the flute and santoor. And they were one Zareen Daruwala ji. So wonderful musicians. So I also feel, Kavi, if I make a mistake, all these people will have to stay for another half an hour for me. So it used to be a lot of tension. I must do this song within 2 takes. Try and do it maximum within 2 or 3 takes. And sometimes a take would be going really well from my side and the musician would make a mistake. So start the whole song again. So the 3rd take is okay and it's probably not my best. But I would have to compromise because it's where I've been reasonably okay and the musicians have been okay,
What for you was the most difficult song, really challenging?
2, 3 songs. I think Tu Hi Re was very difficult because of range. And when I was new, I think Hawa Hawai was difficult because at Pakachiki I had to really practice a lot that I don't make mistakes in the final mic. Yeah, and also because those are all live recordings. So if you make a mistake, the whole thing. So that tension was there. And I think the other song was Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam, the title song, because of the hum and all those things.
Again, when you saw it on screen on Aishwarya Rai,
oh my gosh,
what
did
you?
It's so
what did you
beautifully
feel? Yeah.
picturized, so beautiful. Sanjay Leela's got some gift, he can envision the song so beautifully.
But you worked with him earlier on 1942. He did all the songs,
yeah,
right?
he did. Yes,
so,
he did. Yeah,
in a
but
way,
but I really didn't get to meet him much, except for when I did Kamushi. That's the time he was around. I was lucky that I sang for songs written by. This was Mehboob Saab. Then there was Javed Saab, of course, Gulzar Saab. Then Majrooh Sultanpuri Saab. Then Anand Bakshi Saab, then Anjan ji. Oh, they were all wonderful writers. Very, very good writers.
What about the language? You had to be so particular about the words and, the
Those days,
pronunciation.
actually, we did follow the music directors. Like Panchamda, when he would sing a song, he hits the word. Every word has to come like that.
It has to be like a...
Yeah. If I sang a Bengali song, Khelbo holi rong debo na tai kokono. All the singers of the 90s, if you notice, they've got used to hitting all the words. That lazy singing didn't happen in that generation because we didn't know how to do that. We got used to...
In your entire sort of body...
Because it's a full orchestra with you, so unless you throw your voice in the microphone with all the orchestra, you might just not be able to bring the highs and lows in the song.
But you've also sung very trendy songs like Ye Ladki Hai Kahan, Dil Chahta Hai?
Ye Ladki Hai Kahan? That Shankar Ehsan Loy.
Yeah. That was very trendy, na?
That song?
Yeah. I like that a lot. It's very
peppy. Very peppy.
Huh?
Yeah, a lot of peppy songs I have sung.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want to...
No, that's a bit difficult.
Difficult?
Because you need the scale, and plus you need a boy, and the boy for me to respond to those
Talking
lines.
about the boys, you've sung with some of the best boys also. Udit Narayan,
yes.
Kumar Sanu.
Yeah, Udit Narayan, Kumar Shanu, Abhijit, then Hariharan, Suresh Wadkar, Mohammad Aziz, Munna Aziz, all those people during my time. I don't know if I've forgotten anybody, but all of them, yes. And later on with Shan and Sonu and everybody.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, generations.
Yeah, they all had their own, I think, color, and they were lucky. all of in the 90s, all of them got songs like my colleagues like Alka and Anuradha.
Yeah.
They all got songs which suited their voice.
Yeah.
It's a very and also the main thing is song picturization were done on the actors. So my song would be actually emoted by Sri Devi ji or Manisha Koirala or Madhuri ji. But later on, I noticed that the songs have become background songs.
Huh.
So, there's a difference. Like if I'm saying, Dil ne kaha, chupke se, the actress is emoting it, then you see the expressions on the face, the song will stay in your brain. But if there's a nice song, but it goes in the background, it doesn't register as much as the actor emoting the song.
Right.
So we were lucky in our generation that a lot of actors emoted on our songs.
Right.
Yeah.
I wonder when you go for these live performances, which is the song that you people ask you to sing the most?
Oh, even now, Hawa Hawai.
Hawa Hawai.
Yes, yes. Hawa Hawai and then Dola Re Dola,
Right.
Nimbuda. I think these are the 2-3 very, very popular ones.
But increasingly, live performances are bringing some of that old magic back, right?
Yeah, if you see even in Indian Idol and some of these reality contests, these singers still sing Lataji's
Yeah.
songs. They still sing Kishore Kumar's songs and Manada's songs because that era is absolutely unforgettable because there's so much that's gone into the lyrics. I feel lyrics play a very important
Right.
role. And then the perfection in the singing, the perfection in the composition, everything. I'm not saying they're not perfect now, but now I feel what happens is maybe there are too many songs and the songs go into the background of the movie. They're
Yeah.
not like earlier songs played a very important role, like Hawa Hawai. Can you imagine Mr. India without it? So it played a very important role, but now I feel sometimes even if you didn't have a song, it would still be okay, Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you
you've
so
taken us down memory lane and
Thank
some
you
of the most beautiful songs of our youth and
Thank
childhood.
you.
Thank
Pleasure
you so
talking
much.
to you and
Thank
pleasure
you.
being with you all
Thank
today.
you.
ஆச்சி ராயல் குலோப் ஜாமுன் பேக்ஸ் ஒன்று வாங்கினால் ஒன்று இலவசம்